Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Talking Cardboard. We may look a little rundown and ragged because we're fresh off of our 24-hour fundraising through Extra Life. We played a whole bunch of games. Hopefully you tuned in a little bit. We just had a lot of great fun. We might spend another review video later talking about that more. Well, we got a couple of interesting reviews we want to get to. This first one is Horrified. So we got the usual crew, even though it looks like we're in a different studio. We're really not, we just turned everything 30 degrees. We've got John still, myself, Corey, and Kaylor. And like I said, we're reviewing Horrified, which is the Universal Studios horror themed by Ravensburger Games. They've been around for over 100 years. And they've done a whole bunch of different styles of games. And this is one that recently bubbled to the surface. So John, can you tell us more about this game?
Yeah, basically in this game, a group of 1 to 5 players takes on a special character that has an ability, and what you're trying to do is defeat 1 to 3 monsters on this little town that you're in. You've got little sites like museum, the inn, things that are from these movies, and each monster has their own objective you're trying to complete. And you're also, while you're trying to complete these objectives, you're trying to get items and save townsfolk to get, these special ability cards. So there's kind of a few things going on, and you're also trying to keep away from the monsters because they attack you. And basically you're trying to balance out completing the objectives for the monsters versus letting time run out through this little deck that you have to draw 1 card from each turn, and once you get to 0 cards, you lose. Or else you also have to make sure that you're not letting yourself or the townsfolk die, because once you have 7 deaths, you also lose the game. So, I don't know, that's about the gist of it.
So because this is Universal Studios that they have the license for, it's not just random run-of-the-mill monsters. It is The Mummy, it is Frankenstein's creation, and The Bride of Frankenstein. We've got the Wolfman. We have just these iconic movie characters, which leaves the world open for any others that they want to be adding. Yeah. And then that means that new expansions should be coming along. It's very thematic. So this game creates an experience right off the bat. Kaylor, when we first opened the game, what did you notice?
I noticed that there's a big little story for you to read through to kind of get you in the mode to play this game. It was really nice because it's, it's just letting you know that there's a disclaimer that, you're going to kind of get sucked into these classic horror monsters, and it really is just a fun little note for you to start off with.
Yeah, and when we're talking horror games, theme is so important that you get immersed in it, whether it's Betrayal at House on a Hill or Abomination or a whole host of other games.
Right. Yeah. I really think this game nails that too. I'd say the theme is probably the biggest pro of this. The gameplay and theme fits so well together that Dracula's out there, and what are you doing? You're trying to bust his crypts and defeat him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so thematic that I don't know.
Well, a lot of the items you use to kill him too are very thematic.
Right.
You've got the garlic and the stake that you have to drive through his heart. You said, you're defeating the crypts or his different tombs or whatever too. But it's not a scary horrifying game. It's more of a kid friendly. It's more kid friendly.
Just good fun.
Yeah.
So this game, it's light, it's themed, the artwork is nice and colorful, it is just fun to enjoy, and it's very approachable for people of all ages and definitely skill levels. So it's a really good game to be playing together and kind of getting a little scary and horror.
Yeah.
Kaylor, what are some of the other pros of this game?
I mean, I definitely feel like with the different mechanics for each one of the monsters, it's really fun to know that, you got a different path to win every time you play, because you randomize the monsters every time you play it. So it really makes things fun for that. And that's one of the things, even though I don't like The Mummy, all the rest of them are really enjoyable.
Interesting that you mentioned The Mummy. That is the one, probably universal con for all of us. Stop me if I'm wrong, but without spoilers, the way to defeat the Mummy is by far the hardest. Mm-hmm. And if it was one person by themselves doing it, they might be able to figure it out. But when you have 3 or 4 cooks in the kitchen all trying to solve this puzzle, it's bedlam and people are just breaking down. Sometimes emotionally, people are kind of like crumbling.
Gets a little messy.
That's why I never go for the mummy. I'm never that person. But I've even had to institute that kind of house rule that only the people who are in the museum can be discussing solving that puzzle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I yell at everybody else because if you've got somebody that's way over at the docks, they can't give advice about where to move those little scarabs.
Nope.
Okay?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. Stay true to the theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's like the one thing because it prevents quarterbacking
Yeah.
on that because that tends to happen where somebody railroads. But it's only for
Right.
that, really for that challenge.
And it does in any cooperative game. So I think thematically, if you tie in the different locations of where you're at, what you're capable of doing based on where you're at, I think that really helps a lot.
Yep.
But speak for yourself. I mean, Mummy's my favorite. And honestly, I like the
You're
puzzle.
the worst at fit solving it.
You're
Gosh,
probably.
I've
the
never
worst.
seen someone use 30 moves on scarabs and get nowhere.
It doesn't matter. It's fun.
We'll just give you your own little puzzle to be working
Yeah.
on. So.
Off in the corner by
Yes.
Oh,
myself.
we're playing the mummy. It's you, Corey.
You got 8 moves this time.
And here's your cookie.
Yeah.
So, do we have any other cons about this game?
Cons? I don't really have much for cons. I guess the only thing I'd say is the special ability cards that you get for saving townsfolk. Maybe we don't use them right. I don't know if they're as strong as maybe they should be, or like for how rarely you get them. They don't really feel like a big boost for the heroes.
It is a free action, though.
Right, that's true, yeah.
Could be more of just a con with our play, not with
Yeah,
the game.
that's probably what I'm thinking. And even though we haven't won this game a lot, I think we've won it once and literally on the last turn that we had. But I wouldn't say that's a con because I've had fun playing this every single time. So
Yeah.
don't expect to come into this game and actually win, I guess.
But like I said, you can definitely scale the hardness of it by how many monsters
Yep.
you put out there.
Definitely.
And we've done three
I
every
think.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of higher on the difficulty range. So
I don't know
do you
why
wanna
we can't win.
exactly. So maybe you want to start with 2 with a larger group, or even 1 by yourself.
Yeah. I'd say my only con, you guys can jump into if you feel the same way, but it is a lighter game. So that could be a con for some people. For me, it's not specifically, but I'm just letting you all know that it is on the lighter side.
Yeah.
So if you're a hardcore gamer looking just for I don't know, even strategy-wise, it seems pretty decent
Yeah.
strategically.
I would agree.
It's just a lighter, I don't know.
It's a lighter horror game. I like to really get themey and delve into it, and this does not scratch that itch for me. But I feel like it's a nice landing space where we all can kind of get enough out of it, and you don't have to be into the theme of games in order to enjoy this. I think that my wife would definitely be into playing this level of game because it's just enough theme. It's just fast-paced enough. Where it doesn't get hardcore nitty gritty in terms of all the mechanisms going on or the gore of you versus other people or the monsters. It's a good, fun, kind of campy thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And just thinking about how we've gotten people into this game, it's really easy to teach people. I mean, we played with multiple people in our friends group, and it's like you give them one explanation of what's going on, and they kind of see what you're doing on your turn, and it's like, okay, this is what I can do, and it's pretty obvious how the monsters work, I think. So, very easy game to just jump into and play.
So yeah, I was. You touched on that it's a low level of difficulty for jumping in, for learning how to do it. I think we agree across the board that it's a very easy game to just kind of pick up and play with people. The only difficulty is understanding some of the nuances of the monsters, how they operate or interact with each other or with certain event cards that kind of go on. But for the most part, it is very streamlined, very approachable. So, Kaylor, how do you think that this game would play with maybe people your kids' age?
I think my 14-year-old will definitely delve into it with him and his friends. I think they would enjoy this game for sure. My younger one's 7, 5, definitely over their head though. Even though they would like the theme, but they wouldn't be able to play this very well.
So then if we're talking about the weight of this game that Kaylor mentioned, it would be acceptable for his 14-year-old and their friends to jump in and play. Anybody younger than that, then it's kind of getting difficult. What would you say the weight of this game is, Corey?
I don't know how you guys feel, but I definitely would put this around the pandemic weight. Pandemic may be a little bit heavier than this, but it's definitely more in that middle to lightweight cooperative style. Definitely not as heavy as like a Spirit Island.
Yes.
I think Spirit Island is definitely a lot more complex with not only what you're doing, but with what the opponent characters are doing. You know, like there's just so much to learn in this game. This game's not the case. You can jump in, like we all said too, and you can teach people as you go through the game. It's very easy to understand as you go, and that's where I'd put it.
Yeah, the iconography with it too, in terms of what creature is moving, what you are rolling, or the order of operations for this thing. Very easy to follow and to learn and to reference back to. So I would agree, pretty lightweight. I say it's a lot lighter than Pandemic.
I think so.
And and then things like Spirit Island are really deep ones. It's a lot lighter than that, which makes it more approachable for all ages.
Yeah. Yep.
John, what do you think about the luck versus skill in this?
Oh boy, I think you really got to rely on the skill of using your specific character that you are with their special ability and kind of knowing how you're going to take down the monsters, what order you're going to take them down. I do think there's a lot more skill because luck really only comes into it when you're drawing that last card at the end of the turn and the monsters are moved around the board and then you're rolling dice for whether or not they do damage. Other than that, I can't really think of where luck comes into this. I mean, for Corey, he gets lucky when he solves the Scarab puzzle because he doesn't have any skill at that.
Law of averages, yes. Skill is lacking.
One turn away.
I guess in general, we're all just lucky if we solve that thing. So,
in my defense, we've only played this game like 14 times.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll get it eventually. But definitely think there's a lot more skill in this game.
Yeah. And even though it's more weighted to skill, it's not like it's a depth of skill.
Right.
No. And the luck things, like John, like you said, it's just rolling dice in terms of how many attack or what items come out. That it's not so based on chance that things could go wrong and then you'd instantly lose.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I guess then we'll just go to our final ratings, 1 to 10. Kaylor, what do you think?
I gave this thing a solid 6.5. Really fun. I'd give it a little bit higher if I won this game, but I still have not.
Oh, come on, man. You can't fault the game for that.
Yes, I can.
Me?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Ooh. A solid 9. I don't know why, but I guess I do know why, but
I don't know why. I just picked a number. He picked 6. I picked 9. I mean,
Oh man. It's awesome. The theme is awesome. It's easy to get into. Like we all said, it's easy to bring non-gamers and gamers alike to the table. You can bring kids, family. It really speaks to everybody. It is a game that's sold at Target, so initially that was more kind of a turn-off to me. I don't know, nothing against Target or anything, but you know what I mean. It's just kind of, you think of the run-of-the-mill monopolies of the world when you think of Target or big box store games. But this game really surprised me. It's awesome. I've heard great things about it too from other people and thought I'd give it a try, and definitely deserves a 9 out of 10 for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would go, personally for me, I'm going to rate it on 2 scales. I'd say personally for me it's about a 7. But in terms of trying to get people hooked on horror type games or into gaming, I'd say it's about an 8.5. That it's a good gateway game.
But you're going to give it a 7.
For me.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm already in. I'm immersed. I like the macabre horror games. Yeah. But I feel like this would be a good way to like have people just gently stroll into that pool and not quite dive headfirst into the deep end. So it's approachable. It's got a great theme. It's good for all ages. So I just think it would be great for people getting into the game. But I personally am at the point when I don't get nearly as much enjoyment out of it. So 7 for me, 8.5 for trying to play this with people.
Still solid.
Yeah. John, what do you think?
I'm actually right up there with Corey. I was at an 8.5. I mean, I've enjoyed this game every single time I've played it. The variety of monsters keeps it fresh. Just trying out different things each time we play keeps it fresh. Like you were saying, just get the ease of getting other people into it and seeing them enjoy the game makes it better.
Yep.
I mean, there's just nothing about this game that I really have an issue with, and I've never said no to playing it. So definitely an 8.5 for me, and look forward to playing it more.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess then we're all in agreement that somebody in your gaming group should buy it.
Yeah.
Or if you want to get people hooked on it, well,
Come on.
Yeah,
It's a 9 out of 10.
So overall, it's definitely either you buy it or somebody in your group buy it. I think it's a great way to get people involved. If you don't have a gaming group yet, it probably retails for about $30 or so.
Yeah.
And it's just a great game to add to your collection.
And let's hope for expansions.
And you can pick it up at Target really easily.
We're now sponsored by Target, please.
I mean, to be fair, Target sells a lot of stuff now.
Yes,
like
they
they
do.
do have a decent game selection.
Yeah. From all of us here at Talking Cardboard, take care. We'll see you next time. And I didn't think of something good to send you off with.
Do you want to think of something?
No.
That was it. That was it. He's just copped out.
All right, whatever.